And my name is Mr. Ape. And this morning I've decided to come live on a very early morning biology session with all our learners. Remember to hit that subscribe button at Ape's Biology so that we can continue to learn. I have decided this morning to provide a clear discussion for the next 30 minutes in this live session for us to actually understand how we can pass information connected with biology. And for today, our live session is focusing on the question of past WAEC from number 22 to number 50. Without much waste of time, we go straight to the question. Let's look at question number 22. Question number 22 here says, which of the following types of placentation is not common among syncarpous pistil? A syncarpous pistil is pistil that is fused ovary. And then you have the one they call apocarpous pistil that are just separated ovaries. Then you have the ones that are called the monocarpous pistil that are known as the single ovary. So there are three types of pistil or ovary in flowers. You have monocarpous, which is single, syncarpous, which is fused, then apocarpous, which are separated. This question is talking about syncarpous pistil. For information, placentation too is the arrangement of ovules in the ovary. Now let's look at the option. Which one is not common among syncarpous pistil? Marginal placentation is ovules arranged along only one edge of the ovule. Axial is around a central axis. You find that in orange. Parietal is around all the edges as you find in ovules and seed arrangement in purple. Free central is actually centralized. So marginal, you find that in bean pod. So the correct answer in this case is marginal placentation is not common among syncarpous pistil. So the answer to number 22 is A. So marginal is found in bean pod along one side. It is never found in a syncarpous pistil, right? But axial, parietal, and free central are found in syncarpous pistil. Question 23. The complex energy-rich organic matter which living organisms need for life is A, water, B, air, C, food, D, mineral salt. The correct answer is food. That is what gives energy-rich organic matter for living organisms. Food, not air, not water, not mineral salt, all right? Water is basically for metabolic reaction. Air contains oxygen, of course, which is used for aerobic respiration. Mineral salts assist in chemical reactions in the body. But food, whether carbohydrate, protein, fat, and oil, they do give energy-rich organic matter to the body. That is why the answer is option C in number 23. Then number 24, which of the following processes are associated with photosynthesis? Now we have here, you have to understand the meaning of photosynthesis, process where green plants make their food using water and carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, and then oxygen is given off as a byproduct. Now, the food made in photosynthesis is called glucose, okay? Now, let's look at the options given here. They say, which of the following processes in number 24 are associated with photosynthesis? You have 1, energy from sunlight is absorbed. Number 2, carbon dioxide is evolved. Number 3, oxygen is given off. Number 4, glucose is synthesized. Basically, if you look at the whole option here, during photosynthesis, energy from sunlight is absorbed. That is one, is acceptable, it's associated. What about Roman number 2? Carbon dioxide is evolved. Carbon dioxide is not evolved with photosynthesis. It's actually used during photosynthesis, but not evolved. Then number 3, oxygen is given off. That is associated with photosynthesis. Number 4, glucose is synthesized. That associated with photosynthesis. So the answer to this question is Roman number 1, number 3, and number 4. At that number 24. Let's look at the option. You have option A, 1 and 2 only. No. Option B, 1, 2, and 4. No, because carbon dioxide is not there. Then on option C, 1, 3, and 4. That is the correct answer. Option 1, 3, and 4. That is option number C. That's the answer to number 24. The processes associated with photosynthesis are energy from sunlight is absorbed. Then number 3, oxygen is given off. Then Roman number 4, glucose is synthesized. That is the correct answer. Then we have question number 28. This is past WAEC question of 2017 May June objective we are discussing in this live session. Then we have which of the following functions is associated with calcium in plants? Calcium in plants. Calcium are mineral nutrients that are macro elements needed by plants for growth and development. The options given is that A, formation of cell wall, B, ribosome, C, protein, D, cell membrane. Be informed that calcium is actually associated with cell wall formation because cell wall gives strength to the plant. As you see plant cell having cellulose cell wall, they also contain calcium that gives strength to the cell wall of plants. It's not ribosome, it's not protein, it's not cell membrane because those ones contain, like the cell membrane contain lipoprotein. Proteins doesn't have anything to do with the calcium. Ribosome is connected with protein and amino acid. So the correct answer to number 25 is A. Then we have number 20. There's a diagram here on that page, as you can see. It said the diagram below are illustrations of the dentition of an organism. Study them and use it to answer question 26 to 28. Let us look at this drawing. As you can see from the drawing, Claire, you can see that the drawing shows that they have presented the diagram of the dentition. Here, W, those set of teeth are definitely the incisors. Then X, those set of teeth are called the canine teeth. Then Y, those 4 sets of teeth are called the premolars. And Z, those set of teeth are called the molars. When you look at it in arrangement, you have 2, for W, you have 2 upper incisors, 2 lower incisors. For X, you have 1 upper canine, 1 lower canine. For Y, you have 2 upper premolars and 2 lower premolars. For Z, you have 3 upper molars and 3 lower molars. Definitely from this, the dentition now, if you check in the dental formula of man, you have 2 incisors up, 2 incisors down, 1 canine up, 1 canine down, 2 molars, 2 premolars up, 2 premolars down for Y, and then 3 molars up and 3 molars up and 3 molars down for Z. That tells you that if you count the teeth up there, the number of teeth you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the lower one is also 8. 8 plus 8 makes what? 16. This definitely is the dental formula of which organism? Let's look at the option. The options, as I bring it down, you notice here, they say that the option here given, let's look at the option. They said dentition belong to A, rabbit, no. B, cat, no. C, frog, no. Frog doesn't even have teeth. Then D, man. So the answer to number 26 is option D. This is the dentition of man, all right? The answer is D to number 26. Now let's pay attention to number 27 because it's related to this. I'm reducing the size so that you get what we are really doing here on my screen, okay? If you look at number 26, because it's related to number 27, right? If you check number 27, they said the function of the teeth labeled X is for A. Look at X. X here, definitely from the diagram, as you can see, let's animate it. Let's widen it. That X is the canine tooth. Now they are asking question in the objective here for number 27. The function of the teeth labeled X is for A, biting and, let's focus, biting and grasping, no. B, chewing and grinding, no. Because biting, that cannot be the answer. Then C, tearing and grasping. Yes, the X tooth, the X teeth there, that is the letter X, that is the canine, is actually for tearing and grasping prey. It can be D because D is the canine is not used for chewing at all. Neither can it be A because the canine is not for biting. Neither can it be B because the canine is not for chewing. So the correct answer for number 27 is definitely tearing and grasping, option C. Okay. Then number 28. Number 28, they said the teeth which are absent in the young of the organism. If you look at organisms that are young, the teeth that are absent in small organism, if you check, is it W? No. Small organisms have W. Young young children have that. Is it X? No. Is it Y? No. The answer is Z. Most of the young organisms, like humans, do not have molars, little children, because molars are the oldest teeth that are in the mouth. So the correct option there is letter Z. Okay. So that's for that. Let's go to number 29. The number of individuals that the environment can support over a long period of time is its A, growth rate, B, total capacity, C, population capacity, D, carrying capacity. Please, within a long period of time, the correct answer that can support, that show that individual organism in an environment can be supported in an environment over a long period of time, the correct answer is called population capacity. Do not get confused. Population capacity is also called carrying capacity. So, but the key word is population capacity. That's why the answer to number 29 is C. Number 30. A good site for study for secondary succession will be A, sand dune, B, a bare rock, C, a land that has just had forest fire, and D, a stretch of barren land. The correct answer will be a land that has just had forest fire. Option C is the correct answer. Why? Because succession have primary and secondary succession. Primary succession usually starts from bare ground and comes out from newly formed habitats. Okay? So be informed about that. Sorry for that pop-up message. Now, the secondary succession starts from already formed habitat that were destroyed. That's why the answer to number 30 is C. Then number 31, a population which exceeds its carrying capacity and then collapse is represented graphically. It exceeds its carrying capacity and then collapse. It definitely is going to be a bell-shaped curve. It went up and then came down, like letter N. That's a bell-shaped curve. It rise and then collapse. So the answer is A, a bell-shaped curve. That's the correct answer. It can be linear because that will be constant. It can be sigmoid, as if it went up and turned to letter S and continued. No, it can be skewed as if it's spiral. No. The correct answer is A. It went up and came down like a bell. So that's a population that collapsed. Number 32. The natural dwelling place of an organism is called A, ecological niche, B, habitat, C, population, D, environment. The correct answer is B. Habitat is the natural dwelling place of an organism. Niche is the rule. Population organism of the same species. Environment is the natural surrounding, but habitat is the natural dwelling place. That's why number 32 answer is B. Number 33. Which of the following ecological factors will result in food shortage? A, drought, B, low rate of reproduction, C, emigration, D, topography. The correct answer is drought. Drought reduces water supply, meaning that it will affect growth of plants, and that, of course, will result in food shortage. That's why 33 is A. A is the correct answer. It has nothing to do with the low rate of reproduction, where organism cannot carry out fertilization. That has nothing to do with emigration, organism moving away. That has nothing to do with topography, the level of the landscape. The correct answer is A. Drought can affect food supply. I hope we are getting the answers in this live session. Number 34. Soil permeability refers to A, how easily water passes through the soil. B, the proportion of air in the soil. C, the proportion of water in the soil hold. D, how well water passes up the soil. How well water rises up the soil. Please be careful with number D, option D, because that is capillarity. That is capillarity. How well water rises is capillarity. So how easily water passes through the soil is called soil permeability. All right. So the correct answer is A. It has nothing to do with C, which has to do with water holding capacity. It has nothing to do with air, the proportion of air it can hold. I didn't they say how easily air passes through. That is also a permeability function. But the correct answer is A, how easily water passes through the soil. So take note of that. Then number 35, which of the following group of organisms do not have members that can be called autotrophs? Autotrophs are organisms that make their own food and mean that they can carry out photosynthesis, they have chlorophyll. The question here says, number 35, which of the following group of organisms do not have members that can be called autotrophs? Protists. Protists is A, B is mosses, C is chlorophyta, D is fungi. Your protists are organisms that are classified as the protophyta or protozoans. And the protophyta organisms like Euglena and Chlamydomonas. In one of my videos, I talk about it. So Euglena and Chlamydomonas are protists. They do carry out photosynthesis, so they are autotrophs. It cannot be the answer. B, most plants have leaves that are green in color, so they cannot be, they are also autotrophs, they carry out photosynthesis. Chlorophyta, from the name, you don't need that. These already organisms like Euglena that have chlorophyll in them. Fungi do not have chlorophyll, so they are not members that can be called autotrophs. Rather, they are called saprophytes because they feed on dead, decayed organic matter. So number 35 answer is D. Number 36. Which of the following pyramids give the most accurate picture of relationship between the organisms at the various trophic levels in a food chain? A pyramid of A, numbers, B, energy, C, biomass, D, size. The correct answer that gives the most accurate picture of relationship is pyramid of numbers, because as you rise along the pyramid, it shows you clearly as you move from the lower end of a pyramid of number, how the population of organisms are reducing from producers that are higher at the base to consumers that are fewer at the top. It also gives you a clear picture of how the organisms are moving from one energy level to another. So pyramid of number is the correct answer to that question. It has nothing to do with biomass, that has to do with the weight. It has nothing to do with the energy, how energy is lost in the food chain. But pyramid of number really displayed the accurate picture of the relationship between producers that are many, to primary consumers that are lesser, to secondary consumers that are far lesser, and to the tertiary consumers that are far, far lesser in number. That's why the answer is A. Number 36 is A. Number 37, which of the following statements is not associated with pyramid of energy? This is an early morning discussion. Is not associated with pyramid of energy. Now, on this option, look for anything that has nothing to do with energy. Energy is connected with trophic levels or loss of energy, or as you move from one level of the food chain to the other. Let's look at the options. Which of the following, number 37, which of the following statement is not associated with pyramids of energy? A, efficiency of energy transfer between trophic levels can be studied. That is associated, definitely. Okay. Then comparison of pyramids for different ecosystem can be made. Okay, well, this cannot be the answer. Then C, more accurate comparison of trophic level, correct. D, representation of numbers of organisms at different trophic levels. Look at the options carefully. You will notice that the correct answer is going to be B, because that is a statement that is not associated with pyramids, because you are not comparing pyramids of different ecological systems, right? So which of the following statement is not associated with pyramid of energy? The correct answer is B. Comparison of pyramids of different ecosystems can be made. That is not associated with energy. But if you look at option A, option C, option D, they are all associated with energy. That is why the word trophic levels appear there. Trophic level is connected with energy flow in a food chain or in a pyramid. Okay. Number 38. Which of the following materials is not easily biodegradable? Now, natural resources are classified as renewable or non-renewable. Those non-renewable resources are those ones that cannot be decomposed, right? In fact, biodegradable resources are those that can easily be decayed by microorganisms in the soil. So the question here says that which of the following materials in number 38 is not easily biodegradable, it's not easily decomposed. All right. Look at the option A, polythene bag is made of plastic. That is the correct answer. Plastic is a nuisance in our environment and a pollutant. So the correct answer is A, polythene bag. Cotton bag will decay because it is made of plant material. Hides and skin will decay, made of animal. Paper bag is decayed because it comes from plants. So the one that cannot easily be biodegradable is polythene bag. That's why number 38 option is A. Very simple biology. Number 39. Which of the following pairs of organisms is in a mutualistic relationship? Mutualism is also called symbiosis, where both organisms benefit. Now, which one is in a symbiotic or mutualistic relationship where both organisms benefit? Now, look at the option A, hydra and sea anemone. B, hermit crab and sea anemone. C, doda plant and cocoa plant. And then D, mistletoe and kola nut. Basically, understand that we have parasitic plants that actually harm other plants by feeding on their tissues. In this case, the parasitic plants here on this list are doda plant and also mistletoe. There's another parasitic plant they call Casita filiformis. Now, doda plant, mistletoe, check the options. Anywhere you see doda plant and mistletoe, they are parasitic. They have to be ruled out. They cannot be part of your answers. So now let's go to option A and B, which I'm sure that's where your mind is going to now. Is it hydra and sea anemone? For your information, hydra and sea anemone, both of them are cnidarians or coelenterata. They do not live at all in a mutualistic relationship. Both of them are independent. When you look at hermit crab and sea anemone, that is an example of mutualistic relationship. The hermit crab you see here will always carry the sea anemone on its back. So the sea anemone will be benefiting, and as the hermit crab carries it around, the sea anemone will be feeding. So the sea anemone is benefiting from the hermit crab. What is the benefit the hermit crab gets from the sea anemone? As the hermit crab is moving, the sea anemone is so large that it covers the hermit crab, and that hermit crab is protected from predators so that other predators will not eat him up. So the hermit crab gets protection from the sea anemone, while the sea anemone gets food from the hermit crab obtain its own food because the hermit crab carries it around. That is why hermit crab and sea anemone are beautiful example of mutualistic or symbiotic relationship. That's why the option to that answer is B, right? Let's move on. Question number 40. WAEC past biology question, May-June objective 2017. Very easy biology to trash. Number 40, the establishment of game reserves and parks is a method of A, conservation of natural resources, B, cultivating game, C, controlling pollution, D, cultural awareness. Definitely, when you want to build a game reserve will have trees, will have streams, will have rivers, will have natural animals present, and parks. That alone is a way of conserving natural resources. So your correct answer is A. Natural resources like food, like plants, like animals will all come there. That's why answer to number 40 is a very simple giveaway question. Number 41. Which of the following practices is not used in conserving water? Is not used in conserving water. Afforestation, when we start planting trees in a habitat that has no trees, definitely those trees will allow the environment to have moisture and more water will come in there because the soil will be moist. That can be used to conserve water, afforestation. B, damming can be used to conserve water. When you build dams, you conserve water. C, deforestation. Where do you cut off trees and conserve water? You can't cut off trees and conserve water. Rather, the habitat to be dry. So that one is not going to be used to conserve water. C, reforestation. Replanting of trees in a habitat that was destroyed can also conserve water. So this now said in question number 41, which of the following practices is not used in conserving water? The correct answer is C. You don't go and deforestate an environment and say that you are conserving water. The correct answer is C, deforestation. It's not used to conserve water. Number 42. Look at that question. Which of the following resources cannot be renewed? Cannot be renewed. Once they finish, it's finished. They cannot be replaced. They cannot be renewed. I told you that there are renewable resources and there are those that are non-renewable. Renewable resources can be recycled. Non-renewable resources cannot be recycled. Once they are exhausted, they are exhausted. So understand question number 42. Which of the following resources cannot be renewed? The answers here given are A, air, B, petroleum, C, food crop, D, soil. Air can be renewed because we have water and we have carbon cycle, we have oxygen cycle, air can be renewed. B, petroleum, once those mineral deposits are finished, they call it crude oil. Once it's finished, that is finished. So petroleum cannot be renewed. Food crops can be renewed because you can replant them by pollination, by growing their seeds and also repollinating them. Soil can be renewed because you can replace new soil with organic matter and enrich the soil by mulching and other things. And even adding humus to the soil, you can renew soil. So the correct answer of resources that cannot be renewed here is B, petroleum. You have other things like mineral deposits like tin, columbite, they cannot be renewed. So we want to make sure we manage our resources, okay? Then we have number 43. It's a question with a diagram, and there we see the image of a young man that WAEC presented in 2017. And then the man is rolling his tongue. So which type of variation is illustrated above? Looking at the drawing, number 43. Well, we have continuous variation, discontinuous variation, morphological variation, environmental variation. We have nothing like environmental variation in the first place. No. Rather, we have variation are differences that exist between organisms. Now, variation that manifest physically are called morphological. Variation that manifests in function of the body is called physiological. Now, if you look at the functioning of the body here, in the case of the tongue is being able to be rolled. So the tongue here is a good example of not physiological variation, of physiological variation, but not morphological variation. So let's look at the answers again. You notice again, they say the type of variation illustrated above is continuous variation, discontinuous variation, morphological variation, environmental variation. Definitely tongue rolling is not morphological because it's not manifested physically. So we also have variation that can be classified as continuous and discontinuous. Continuous variation can be arranged in range from one point to another. Like height, you can arrange children that are 15 years old according to their height from the petite person to the tallest person. So continuous variation can be arranged in terms of height. But what about discontinuous? You cannot arrange it. You either have it or you don't have it. So the correct answer here, you can either roll your tongue or you cannot roll your tongue. That is the correct answer. You are either this blood group or that, not that blood group. So the correct answer is B. So number 43, the type of variation illustrated above is B, discontinuous variation, which is ability to roll the tongue. So blood groups fall under that category too. Take note of that. Number 44, which of the following character is not a morphological variation that does not manifest physically? Shape of nose is morphological. Color of skin is morphological. Color of hair is morphological because manifests physically. Now, tongue rolling is physiological, all right? So the answer is D. Tongue rolling is physiological variation, not morphological. So don't get it confused. Morphological variation can also be called discontinuous variation, so that you understand why the questions are related. Very trickish one. So the correct answer to number 44 is D. Let's go on to number 50, okay? Number 45. Yes, this is the page on 45. An apple plant can produce sexually and asexually, and it has 40 chromosomes in its leaf. How many chromosomes would be in each gamete and somatic cells? This is a very interesting one. Now, if you don't understand mitosis and meiosis, you can't answer this question. Now, when they say it produces sexually and asexually, this apple plant, and it has 40 chromosomes in its leaf cell, the leaf cells are going to be used for mitosis. They are leaf cells that are part of the body cells of the plant, of the apple plant. These leaf cells are somatic cells. So if those 40 chromosomes are in the leaf cells and they carry out mitosis, they will still have 40 chromosomes in the somatic cells of the leaf. But in the sex gamete of the leaf, it will have 20 chromosomes, which will be half of 40. So we are going to see now options that will have 20 chromosomes in the sex gamete and then 40 chromosomes in the somatic cells. That is what we'll be looking for. The option that will have 20 chromosomes in the sex gamete and then 40 chromosomes in the somatic cells or the leaf cells or the body cells. The 20 chromosomes in the sex gamete have taken part in meiosis, while the 40 chromosomes in the somatic cells will be taking part in mitosis. So the 20 is for haploid, while the 40 is for diploid. So let's go ahead. The option says A, 20 chromosomes in this gamete and 10 in somatic cells, never. B, 40 chromosomes in the gamete, never. That cannot even fall there. Now, 20 chromosomes in the gamete and 40 in the somatic cells. C is the correct answer. It can be D. Can't have 40 chromosomes in the gamete. So the correct answer is C, 20 chromosomes in the gamete and 40 in the somatic cells. This is simply application of meiosis and mitosis. Then assuming that capital letter A is the gene, that's number 46, is the gene for normal skin color and is dominant, while small letter A is the gene for albinism and is recessive. What is the likely genotype of the couple which had 50 normal and 50 albino offspring? Here, you are going to do what is called a test cross. And that means you use capital letter A and small letter A as the gene. You cross it with small letter A and small letter A. You'll notice that both parents that will produce this kind of offspring will be option B. Big A, small a versus small a, small a. They will produce 50% normal children and 50% albino children. This will require some small paperwork, but the correct answer is B there, okay? B, not A, not C, not D. The correct answer is B after you do a test cross with recessive gene AA. Number 47. Which of the following statements is true about mutation? Is true. A, phenotype is not involved. B, genotype is not involved. Artificial induction is not possible. D, genotype is not involved. Now, mutation is sudden change in gene position that results in total destruction of the organism's physical outlook or physical appearance. And the component of gene in an organism is called the genotype. So in mutation, what is true about mutation is option D. Genotype is involved. That is why there is mutation. When the gene position changes, it affects the DNA on the gene. Genotype is involved. That's why the answer is D. Number 48. One of the structural adaptations of mammals for movement on land is the development of A, hollow bone, pentadactyl limb, fused thoracic bones for C, D, streamlined body. Mammals, the correct answer is B, pentadactyl limb. That is, if you look at the forelimb of mammal, it's made of the bone of the humerus, the radius and ulna that end with the wrist, and then the carpal and the phalanges. It ends with 5 digits. So this forelimb and the hind limb allow mammals to effectively move on land. That is why mammals have what is called the pentadactyl limb. Mammals don't have hollow bones. They don't have fused thoracic bones. Neither do they have streamline shape. Streamline shape that's pointed to be moving. No. The correct answer is pentadactyl limb, made of the forelimb and the hind limb. The human hind limb or mammalian hind limb is made of the bones of the femur, the tibia and fibula, the tarsals of the ankle, and then the metatarsals of the foot, and the 5-digit fingers. So these forelimb and the hind limb bones are meant for mammals to move effectively on land. That is why we humans and other animals like our puppy dogs can move freely on land. Okay? Correct answer is B. We're about rounding up in this live session. Number 49, which of the following traits is not characteristic of social insects? It's not characteristic of social insects. Think of the bees, the termites. They are called social insects. Now, which one is not characteristic? A, all members are identical. B, there is division of labor. C, the members dwell in the same habitat. D, some members protect the queen. Which one is not a characteristic? The correct answer is A. All members are identical is not a characteristic of social insect, because if you look at termites, the king is not the same thing as the queen. The queen is not the same thing as the worker. The worker is not the same thing as the soldiers. They all look different in their appearance. So the correct answer is A. All members are identical. But if you look at social insects, all members are not identical. So the question here, number 49, which of the following traits is not characteristic of social insect? The correct answer is A. Then we have our last question for today. They say the gradual, number 50, the gradual cumulative, adaptive, and heritable changes in an organism over a long period of time, resulting in new species, is called A, adaptation, B, survival, C, organic evolution, and then D, interspecific competition. The correct answer is organic evolution. It's not adaptation, where organisms actually have features that can make them live successfully in a habitat. It's not survival, which have to do with ability to adapt. Neither is it interspecific competition, where animals of the same species struggle for survival. It has to do with organic evolution, where there are heritable changes, adaptive changes over a long period of time that result in new species. So these are discussion for today in our session for the live stream, discussing what is called the WAEC past question. And I do hope you had a very interesting session for this session. And I want to say thank you for joining me, and continue to learn your biology with simplicity. And I want to say, have a great day. To continue to learn, please hit that subscribe button at Apex Biology and let us learn on an ongoing basis. So we have trashed our question of May, June, past WAEC question of 2017 from number 22 to number 50 this morning. Do have a lovely weekend, and remember to continue to subscribe at Apex Biology. Bye for now. Bye.